So now the problem number 4. Fourth problem, see carefully. Find the value of debenture from the following. Face value of debenture is 1000. Annual interest rate. This annual interest rate is the coupon rate. The coupon rate are 15%. Maturity period 5 years. If the expected interest rate are 15%, 12%, 18%. These are the required rate of return. The required rate of return are 15, 12, 18. This problem is just like the previous problem, problem number 3. 3 cases we have. First case, when the required rate of return is 15%, what is the value of the bond? What is the value of the debenture? Second case, if the required rate of return is 12%, what is the value of debenture? Third case, required rate of return 18%. So here you can see the board. Valuation of bond, C, V is equal to, the formula is C into PVF R% N years plus maturity value into PVF R% N years. So instead of M, we can write it down here 1000. This is M. M into PVF R% N years. Now, case 1. If the required rate of return is 15%. So coupon interest 15% of 1000, 150, maturity value 1000, required rate of return 15%, N is equal to 5 years. And one bond price theorem we have seen, if the coupon rate and the required rate of return are same, then the market value of the bond and the face value of the bond will be equal. Here 15% coupon rate, 15% required rate of return. So we are substituting the values, we are getting V is equal to 999.8. This is very, very near to 1000. And 1000 is the face value. So 15% is the required rate. R की जगह पर 15% लेंगे, N की जगह पर 5 years लेंगे. So if you calculate annuity factor 15% for 5 years, you will get 3.352. उसी तरह 15% 5 years PV of ₹1, you will get 0.497. So multiply 150 into this, you will get 502.8. 1000 into this amount, you will get 497 total. This is the A case. Now B case. If the required rate of return is 12%, अगर required rate of return कम है coupon rate से, so the market price of value of bond will be more than the face value. Face value of bond 1000 है. 1000 से ज़्यादा? Yes, 1107. Here the required rate of return is 12%. R की जगह पर 12% ले. तो 12% 5 years annuity factor, then 12% 5 years PV of ₹1. We got the value. 2 cases over. Now third case, if the required rate of return is 18%. Now 18% is more than the coupon rate. Coupon rate 15%. Coupon rate is 15%. Here we have 18%. So when the market required rate of return is more than the coupon rate, the market value of the bond will be less than the face value. Face value से कम हो गया 906.05. Here we have taken 18% 5 years. 18% 5 years. We got the value. This is the fourth problem. Now fifth problem, you see. A company's bond have a par value of ₹100. Face value. Mature in 7 years. N is equal to 7. Carry a coupon rate of 12% annually. If the required rate of return on this bond is 16%, R is equal to 16%, what price the bond command in the marketplace? Market में ये bond का क्या price हो सकता? So, we'll apply the value of the bond. Here, C is equal to coupon rate 12% of 100 rupees, 12 rupees. Maturity value 100, required rate of return 16% and 7 years. Substitute 16%, 7 years annuity factor. Substitute will get 83.87. So 83.87 is the price which will in the market it will command 83.87 price. Take a pause, copy down the complete solution of fourth problem as well as fifth problem. Now, problem number 6. See the problem number 6. A rupees 100 par value bond carries a coupon rate of 12% and a maturity period of 8 years. Interest is paid semi-annually. This is the new point. Abhi tak so far we have done the problems where interest was paid annually, only once in a year. But now it is given that interest is paid semi-annually, every 6 months. 2 times in a year. The interest is paid 2 times in a year. Then compute the value of the bond if the required rate of return is 14%. This is the problem number 6. The following formula will be used to find the value of the bond if interest is paid semi-annually. So V is equal to C by 2 into PVAF R by 2%, 2n years, M into PVF R by 2% for 2n years. This is a modification we have to make when we have to calculate the value of the bond on which semi-annual interest is paid. Every 6 months interest is paid. So क्या करेंगे? First modification, instead of C we are going to take C by 2. So instead of R we are taking R by 2, and instead of N we are taking 2N. So these are the changes we have to make in the formula if we want to calculate the value of the bond which pays semi-annual interest. Right? So here in our problem you can see C is equal to, it is given 6th problem, C is equal to 12%. 12% of rupees 100, rupees 12. Coupon rate 12%. Face value is 100. So 12 rupees. So C by 2 is equal to 12 by 2 is equal to 6. C by 2 will take 6. R is equal to, the required rate of return is 14%. So R by 2 is equal to 14 by 2 is equal to 7%. Then we have N. N is equal to, how many years it is given? 8 years. 2N is equal to 2 into 8 is equal to 16 years. M is equal to maturity value. The maturity value is rupees 100. Now we substitute V is equal to C by 2 is 6. PVAF R by 2. R by 2 is 7% for 16 plus 100. PVF 7% for 16 years. So 7% 16 years, you will get 9.447. Similarly, 7% 16 years, 0.339. V is equal to multiply 56.682 plus 33.9 is equal to 90.58. This is the value of the bond. 90.58 is the value of the bond. This is the first problem where interest is paid semi-annually. So we have to make this modification. Procedure is same. Only instead of C we'll take C by 2. Instead of R we'll take R by 2. Instead of N we'll take 2N. That is the difference. So we have completed 6 problems. Seventh problem. Problem number 7. A rupees 100 par value bond bears a coupon rate of 14% and matures after 7 years. C is equal to 14% of 100. 14. And N is equal to 5 years. Then interest is paid semi-annually. Compute the value of the bond. The required rate of return R is equal to 16%. Semi-annual bond. For semi-annual bond, formula is V is equal to C by 2 into PVAF R by 2% 2N plus M into PVF R by 2% 2N. C by 2, 14 by 2, 7. PVAF R by 2, 16 by 2 is 8%. 2 into N, 2 5s are 10 years. M, maturity value 100. 8%, 10 years. Now, refer the table and find out the values. It is problem number 7. So 8% 10 years. 8% 10 years, annuity value 6.710. 6.710 and 0.463. Seven into 6.710, 46.97 plus 46.3, 93.27. That's it. Exactly same procedure. Now we'll come to the 8th problem. A 10-year-old of rupees 1000 has an annual interest rate of 12%. N is equal to 10 years. Then C is equal to 12% of 1000 is equal to rupees 120. The interest is paid semi-annually. In required rate of return is 16%. Semi-annual bond. Same procedure, exactly same. So V is equal to C by 2. So 120 by 2 is 60. PVAF R by 2, 16 by 2 is 8%. 2 into N, 20 years. Maturity value 1000. So 8%, 20 years, it comes to 9.818. Then 0.215. So multiply 589.08 plus 215. 804.08. $804.08. This is the value of the bond. Now we'll take up the ninth problem. Ninth problem. What is the value of a bond of rupees 1000 and is paying 3.5% annual coupon rate in annual payments over 10 years until it matures? If its yield to maturity YTM, it is the required rate of return. YTM is 6%. What is the bond's present value if the coupons are paid semi-annually? So two different questions are there. In the same problem, we have to find out what is the value of the bond if interest is paid annually and also if interest is paid semi-annually. So C is equal to 3.5% of rupees 1000, 35. Then we have M is equal to 1000. Then N is equal to 10 years. And R is equal to 6%. Case 1. If interest is paid annually, first case we are taking interest paid annually, second case we will take interest paid semi-annually. So annually interest paid, V is equal to C into coupon is 35. PVAF, R is 6%, N is 10 years, plus 1000 into PVF, 6%, 10 years. So 35, 6%, 10 years, 7.360. And 6%, 10 years, 0.558. So when you multiply 35 into 7.360, 257.6 plus 558. V is equal to 815.60. This is case 1. Now case 2. If interest is paid semi-annually, V is equal to C by 2 PVAF R by 2%, 2N. C by 2, 35 divided by 2, 17.5. R by 2, 6 by 2, 3%. 2 into N, 2 into 10, 20 years. Plus maturity value 1000. 3%, 20 years. Now, 3% for 20 years, it is 14.877. and here it is 0.554. Multiply, you'll get 260.35 plus 554. So V is equal to 814.35. That's all. In only the single problem, we are applying both the formulas, annual and semi-annual. Now, problem number 10. Tenth problem, find the present value of the bonds. So far we are doing the present value only. Bond A, B, C. Again 3 in 1 problem. एक ही problem में 3 अलग-अलग different questions है. A bond, B bond and C bond. Face value, first we'll complete A bond. A bond complete करेंगे, then we'll go to for B bond. Face value is 100 rupees. Coupon rate 15%. Maturity 6 years. Redemption price, maturity value is 110. Current price is 90, coupon payment annual, required rate of return 17%. Actually, current price we don't require. This current price is the present actual market price, and what we are calculating is the theoretical or intrinsic value. हम जो मालूम कर रहे हैं intrinsic value मालूम कर रहे हैं, right? So first we take bond A. Problem number 10. Bond A. C is equal to 15% of 100. Rupees 15. Maturity value. Maturity redemption price is rupees 110. Then N is equal to 6 years. R is equal to 17%. That's all. Coupon payment annual. So V is equal to C into C. Coupon is 15 rupees. R 17%. N 6 years. Maturity value 110. R is 17%, 6 years. Now 15%, 6 years. 17%, 6 years. 3.589. 0.390. 53.835 plus 42.9 96 point this is the value of the bond 735. This is for bond A. Now we have to calculate for bond B. C is equal to, see the problem, coupon rate for bond B is 13%. So 13% of 100 rupees. Then M is equal to maturity value, redemption price. Redemption price is rupees 100. Then N is equal to period to redemption, 5 years. And required rate of return, 18%. Coupon payment annual. That's it. This is the data given for bond B. Now we substitute the values in the formula. V is equal to C 13, PVAF required rate of return 18%, 5 years, plus redemption price is 100, PVF 18%, 5 years. Now we substitute the values. 18% 5 years is 3.127 and 18% 5 years 0.437. 40.651, 43.7 is equal to 84.351. This is for bond B. Now bond C. 16%. 16% of rupees 100. Rupees 16. Maturity period N is equal to 10 years. Then redemption price is 100. R is equal to required rate of return is 8%. Coupon payment is semi-annual. Semi-annual. तो फर्स्ट A बॉन्ड और B बॉन्ड एनुअल था एंड नाउ इट इज सेमी एनुअल बॉन्ड. तो V इज इक्वल टू C/2. C/2. 16/2 is 8. PVAF R/2. 8 divided by 2 is 4%. 2 into N, 2 into 10 is 20. Maturity value 100. PVF 4%, 20 years. So 4%, 20 years. 13.590 and 0.456. 108.72 plus 45.6. 154.32. That's all. These are the calculations for bond A, B, C. So first A and B bond coupon payment annual. For C bond coupon payment is semi-annual. Semi-annual. So by doing this 10-12 problems, you are perfect on how to calculate the value of the bond if the interest is annual and if the interest is semi-annual.